G'day, Cyanara here, bringing you the third Crazy Koala cast for COH2. Now feeling slightly healthier and featuring audible microphone technology. Wow. Today's match is another fight between USF and Ostia. I haven't come across many OKW replays lately for some reason, but hopefully soon. On the side of the Yankees today is Wahoo, a player presumably named after that one Blur song anyone can actually think of. Wahoo is ranked about 600 at USF at the moment, which is a reasonable rank. We should hopefully see some solid plays there. On the other side of the map, fighting for austerity in the EU, is Fortune, a higher-ranked player at around the 100 mark for Ostia currently. Right, let's get this thing under the way. So today's map is Faymonville. Interesting map. Can be a little bit frustrating, largely due to all these tiny wooden fences everywhere, which really sort of just impede your infantry, and are quite difficult to give vaulting orders for when the action is really heating up. Sometimes it's kind of worth just getting out a light vehicle as soon as possible and crushing as many of these damn things as you can. Still, it's a relatively crowded map with lots of cover and flanking opportunities, which is quite good and makes them for some interesting plays. And another key feature of this map is, of course, this giant building defending the VP in the middle, but only really from the left. The right side has nothing comparable. Now the right player can rush the building to capture it, but it's sort of flankable from the left thanks to all these hedgerows kind of blocking off the view from that area and these stone walls letting you get nice and close to it with grenades or flamethrowers. Also, the building appears to be made out of bloody adamantium as it is nearly impossible to destroy. So it's a bit of a questionable map design choice there by Relic, but you know, what else is new? You see the rear echelon rush that building, but decide that there's nothing in the area, so they might as well just capture this point, chucking down a bit of wire, blocking off a nice little defensive point for the Germans. Also here, if the Germans try to hold USF in the base, those stone walls can be quite helpful for that. We see Pioneers pushing up and just grabbing this point here. Not really a cut-off or anything, but since these points are rarely contested, since they're so out of the way, it can be helpful for providing that all-important trickle of resources that Ostia so often needs. Interesting build order choice here. We see a sniper as a second unit build. You don't see German snipers very often. They have a great rate of fire, but they seem to attract bullets like a freaking super magnet or something. So, interested to see how that works out. Pioneers try and capture this fuel, but they're going to struggle against rifles in the best of situations. And since they're behind green cover, that is not the best of situations. Rear echelon just sort of sitting in the building there. Interestingly, getting actually picked off by that sniper. Got 2 kills already from it. Usually snipers tend to be quite horrible at hitting infantry inside buildings in this version of the game. So, some lucky shots there. Looks like the sniper's getting a bit rushed. Gets a nice hit on the rifles, decides to get out of there. Bit of a dangerous area with all that road there. Grenadiers trying to pick off those rear echelon, but looks like they're going to get away. Rifles, however, sitting behind green cover are going to eventually force off those Grenadiers. You see another Grenadier squad there. So a bit of a push out by the Ostia player. Looks like the sniper doesn't get so lucky that time, fails to hit the person in there. These rifles though are really going to devastate these Grenadiers at that kind of range. We need to get out of there, and fast. Not fast enough, unfortunately. So these rifles managed to finish them off. A nice flanking shot. The sniper gets another shot against that building. It's on fire today. Meanwhile, rear echelon just sort of doing some lazy capturing on the side. Pretty much what they excel at. Looks like these rifles actually struggling to hold that building. Yeah, usually very hard to counter building units garrisoned inside that building, so this sniper play is proving quite interesting in that regard. I'll definitely have to give that one a try myself in the future.
We're losing a capture point. We're getting plastered over here. I need cover.
Grenadiers nicely behind green cover, although very low on health there. still, those rifles decide not really worth staying in the building there.
Target secure.
Maybe baiting? No, looks like they're pushing out. MG42 trying to close in, probably wants to get inside that building, as it really is a great MG nest. Although it can be flanked from this side, this tree does seem to block all sight over here.
Frag grenades now available for action.
But you can usually support it with some other infantry.
What the hell am I meant to do with these recruits?
There we see a lieutenant out on the field already. Got a bar to give it a bit of extra firepower. More rear echelon doing some capturing on the sides. These grenadiers really hoping to actually get some fuel. So Ostia, yeah, you see Ostia really sort of being held back a bit at the moment. Rear echelon trying to push up. Yeah, trying to do a bit of volley fire from behind the safety of green cover. Grenade coming out there. Unfortunately, a bit of a waste of ammunition. Only killing 2 rear echelon. That's not the greatest exchange in the world. And Lieutenant moving up there. Probably got a bit of cover snap going on. So forcing them just outside the radius of the capture. Bit of a frustrating addition that came in a few patches ago. Not sure why the snapped cover has to be as far as it is. But I think it changed when they increased the number of cover positions, which was definitely an addition that was needed. So we see an M20 on the field rushing up here. Probably hoping to take care of that pesky sniper, which we see here. He's going into hold fire mode, so it doesn't give away his position, and getting microed around the building there to hopefully avoid it. Gets a nice shot while it's at it. And those rifles then get suppressed. Sniper easily moved around, although it does take a few hits from the rifles, I think. Still getting shots. Smoke from the rifles up against the building there, so sort of forcing that MG42 out. Nice Panzerfaust there, presumably to stop that M20 rushing in and finishing off that sniper, since Ostia does not really yet have any reasonable AT. Just takes a bit too long to get Tech 2 really. We see that Pack 40 building, but this M20 wasn't even out as early as it could have been. So yeah, a bit of a balance issue for Ostia there. They really do need a cheaper tier 2, especially to get those Panzer Grenadiers out to actually give rifles a run for their money. In the meantime, yeah, we really just see the map being dominated by USF. Pretty typical early map control between these two factions. It's like when you find a saltwater crocodile in your living room. You can't question it, you just inevitably have to let it take the pet or the loved one that it came for, and if they're worth their weight, they'll come back to you in the end. Yeah, the pet or the loved one, that is, hopefully not the croc. In this metaphor, I think the loved one is late game Ostia tech, but I might have gotten a little lost there. We see, interestingly, the crew not hopping out of the M20 car, just getting repaired by rear echelon. Sniper could be picking those off, but it's just capturing an important point there. Bit of smoke popping, they've noticed the pack there. Definitely a versatile unit, the M20. Finally getting the armoured skirts to give it a few more HP. Lieutenant pushing up, chucking a grenade on that MG. Oh, does a lot of damage despite the fact that it's behind green cover. And these Grenadiers, although they're two, they're in a bit of a difficult position there. Sniper, hopefully trying to finish off this Lieutenant. Will it get it? No. Almost gets a squad wipe, just misses that retreat shot. Incidentally, now that it's Vet 1, with Fortune have been able to afford the incendiary explosive round, apparently it has 100% accuracy, making it very useful for squad wiping that last unit on retreat. M20 really wants to get rid of that sniper now, flanking up from the side. Pack turns around, but we see that smoke pop again. Sniper needs to retreat, doesn't take any hits. That Panzer Grenadier is standing in the middle of the road, not doing so well. Pack turns around, but once again fails to get the shot. Like I said before, a bit of a crowded map can be hard for packs to work properly on this one. Rifles pushing up here, doing so over the road, which is a bit questionable, but they get through okay. It's a throw one grenade out there. Oh, nearly squad wipes. Interesting here, we actually see the incendiary round from the sniper being used on that squad. Nearly wipes it. Very nice. MG42 pushing up. Looks like M20 taking a bit of damage from the pack hit somewhere. Vet 1 on the MG42. Oh! And it looks like the Pack 40 does an attack ground hit through the smoke there. Very nice indeed. Just delivering a powerful punch to the M20, much like the time I had to punch out that great white shark when I was at the beach once. Probably one of the more interesting swimming lessons I had as a kid.
Our supply line's cut. Germans are making a push.
Yeah, looks like Wahoo. Not so impressed by that. I wouldn't say it was luck though. Attack ground is there for a reason.
Moving up! Contact! Infantry!
Panzer Grenadiers could get out of there, not doing so well on health.
200 points.
Looks like VP situation really working against Fortune here.
Over here!
500 to less than 200 VP already. Ooh, these Grenadiers running across the road next to a Vet 2 rifle squad, that's gonna hurt. Lieutenant tries to push up, checks out some smokes, it's taking fire from that building. Grenadiers have to get out there, and that pack's also in a pretty risky situation. See another grenade go out. Seeing a few grenades from USF. It's often a good idea. Oh! Another incendiary round. Doesn't do as much damage that time though. It's a shame. And they're all running back to base like somebody spooked a nearby goanna. Boy, you do not want to be the tallest thing around when that happens. MG42 pushing up. Using the M20 as a nice bit of convenient green cover on the edge of that VP. That's pretty good positioning, honestly. Although it does not have much health left. Any non-small arms fire and that thing's going to go to pieces. Interesting to see whether we get any incendiary rounds from this MG42, since Fortune's definitely a fan of them from his sniper. Rifles pushing up through there. Looks like we had some S-mines here. But I don't think they did much damage to that squad. Bit of a shame. Panzer Grenadiers pushing in to take some fuel. An interesting fuel point to try and take. And they might have a bit of trouble from this squad now, even if it is low in health. It is a Vet 2 and it has a bit of a range advantage. Knocks out a Panzer Grenadier model. But suddenly the Panzer Grenadiers are just wiping out the rifles. Even with these guys shooting them from behind. They're going to have to get out of there now, I think. Especially with this little guy on the field. Sherman. Sherman getting the 50 cal upgrade. Nice little AP. Ooh, nice shot there. Interesting thing to note, I see this Sherman is currently on armor-piercing rounds, not high explosive. And I really do find the armor-piercing rounds are very, very accurate, while HE rounds are highly inaccurate. Unless you're shooting a giant blob, I find that HE rounds just miss way too much. You actually probably get higher average DPS against infantry out of the armor-piercing rounds. It's a bit odd, I'm not sure if that's intended behaviour, but again, that's just what I sort of noticed. Pack getting some nice shots over the base buildings. See an MG bunker going down there. Interesting to see whether Wahoo's hoping to sneak some infantry back around the base. Or if it was just a target of opportunity while trying to chase down those Panzer Grenadiers while avoiding the packs. Rifles there are a bit distracted by these pioneers, so the Panzer Grenadiers might do some damage, but once again we see an armor-piercing shot just nail a model. Vet 2, nice, that'll pay off. Pack 40 fails to get a shot on that Sherman though. Looks like we had another incendiary round stunning that Lieutenant squad. And some white phosphorus coming in now, just to finally get that MG42 out of that building. You notice it does no damage to the structure itself, but MG42 forced down to pretty much 1 HP. However, there's nothing there to finish them off. And they're just going to get healed by that med bunker, which is a good investment by Fortune.
Enemy contact. A capture point is being overrun.
Sniper just happily getting shots, already at 25 kills. Pretty impressive. Would be a good map for it, even though it's just maybe the right mix of open and having enough cover to protect it. As the Grenadiers want to take this fuel, although, yeah, it looks like VPs are probably a slightly more important goal at the moment. Sherman's largely repaired and heading back out into the field.
WPM-110 smoke strike can be delivered to cover our men.
And we haven't seen any... we just got a doctrine choice from Fortune. Close air support, an interesting one. No real vehicle call-ins. In fact, it makes it hard to get vehicles altogether, since every time you use redistribute resources, you sacrifice 50 fuel for ammunition, which can be very, very, very helpful for Austere. I think this commander was overlooked for a long time because it lacked those vehicles. It's sort of seen as just a support doctrine. But when it was realised just how much Austere early game sucks against USF, people realised the one thing Austere needed was just ammunition. They just have so many ways of using ammunition that are really, really powerful. And this doctrine just gives you all the ammunition you could ever hope for. Pack 40 unfortunately misses there. We also see a Scot in the field to help wipe out some of these infantry. So some interesting diverse unit choices on both sides, really. Pack 40 set up pretty solidly there, although these infantry might scare them off. Looks like Grenadiers force off a major.
We're losing a capture point. Taking fire! Capture complete!
And it appears that the Sherman has switched to HE rounds. Be interesting to see whether that's effective this time. See, it just actually, for once, fails to hit the Panzer Grenadiers. And again. Oh, it takes double hits from the Pack 40s. Poor end for that Sherman.
Keep up the fire! Aim for the loader!
See the sniper heading down to try and defend that Pack 40.
Squad is back to full strength.
Taking fire! Counter!
It's a bit of a shot. Grenade going out, trying to hit that sniper. Misses though. It's really picking them off though. Scott pushes up to see if it can help take out these packs now that they've been forced back. Panzer Grenadiers trying to get some pickings as they retreat. Not sure what the sniper's doing. Oh, yes, the anti-tank strafe is extremely powerful for close air support. I have seen it take out an pretty much a full health ISU going through the rear armour. It's actually significantly more deadly than the dreaded P-47. And of course, if you can just keep getting ammo for it, or giving up fuel, you almost never actually have to build tanks, which is something we've noticed here. Fortune has not yet built any. Has ticked up to Battle Phase 3 though, which is pretty interesting. Certainly an interesting way to spend a lot of fuel, considering Fortune has not actually built any tank-producing buildings, but okay. Oh! We see there the incendiary round squad wipes 3 men, standing all kind of close to each other. Very nice. Vet 3 now. 34 kills, beautiful. Yeah, it's just more of a suppressing strafe, but the rifles were already getting out of there. Ooh, squad wipe there, that's unfortunate. Vet 2 on the MG42, that might pay off. Another Sherman on the field. Can't we see there, HE shell just fails to do anything despite almost being dead on. Oh, but that time it gets an accurate shot. Can be quite good point blank. And actually wipes the entire squad in a single hit. You see smoke popping out there. Unlike most other smoke dispensing, the Sherman does not chuck out smoke to get away from situations, just rather to rush into them. We see the Sherman switch back to AP.
Veterancy level attained.
It's a nice hit there, and so does the Scott. But Scott is sitting in a pretty bad situation there.
Flying cover.
Ooh, we hear a Stuka coming down. Oh, not wipes out the major squad, and looks like the pack finishes off that Scott. Not looking good for USF, very short on units. However, with the current VP situation, that might not matter. Rifles managed to take out that AT gun. Oh, anti-tank strafe destroys another Sherman. Wahoo, not particularly happy about that. Sniper pushing up to try and capture these VPs. Takes a few hits though, even at vet 3, it's a very fragile unit. But it's nearly annihilated the squad. The vet 3 rifle squad at that. The grenade comes out, but Sniper manages to dodge that. Oh wow! Will this squad get wiped? Ah no, Sniper misses, even at vet 3. Probably should have tried the incendiary round, but of course you have very limited time to do that sort of thing when a unit is retreating.
Enemy contact. Where are they coming from?
44 kills on the Sniper already. Very impressive. Oh, another incendiary round. Really starting to love that ability. Going to have to use that one myself now.
We're losing a capture point. You got a rifle squad waiting for orders.
Suddenly, with only 30 VPs to go, the map seems to more or less belong to Austria suddenly. Rifles chucking out some smoke there to push up.
Reinforcements in. Welcome to the death factory,
And ooh, they try a preemptive grenade in the hope that these Panzer Grenadiers are rushing up, but they're not for some reason. So a bit of luck there by fortune. Pioneers not going to be able to do much against these rifles. And those rifles are forced off. Oh, but we see a nice bit of use of the strafe there. Are these Pioneers going to exploit it while these guys are completely pinned? We see extra damage being done while they're in that state. Oh, very nice, even vets up the Pios. Those rifles definitely should have been retreated.
Make sure you get cover while reloading. Lost guys healing while loading stripper clips.
Another grenade going out there, doesn't hit though.
Find target and counter.
Sniper having its usual fun. And we see another Sherman on the field. Looks like it's going with AP rounds. Oh, Sniper very low in health. Really getting targeted. Not sure if it'll escape. Oh, we see an AT strafe, I think. Oh, lucky shot by that Sherman. Very nice indeed. As I say, AP rounds, they seem to be crazy accurate for some reason. Sherman coming in through the back of the base, just to see what it can pick off. Well, looks like these Lieutenant Squad's going to get a squad wipe here on the Grenadiers. Oh, very lucky. However, still got to face a Sherman in the base. And no AT there to mention. One Pack 40 moving up. Sort of the one catch to close air support. These sort of sneaky attacks are a little hard to deal with because you just don't have any tanks of your own to bring out. And tanks do have that one benefit of mobility, which makes them more flexible for defending than, say, a Pack 40. Pack 40 doesn't seem to be getting any shots, it looks like attack ground got used there. Ooh, that time it gets a hit. Lieutenant Squad nearly is wiped by an MG42. Rifle was flanking up from the side. Sherman forced off there in a pretty desperate situation. Grenade does a bit of damage. See a Luftwaffe strike coming in somewhere, forcing off some rifles, I think. German army starting to look pretty substantial, even if it is a little bit wounded. Really not much on the USF side there at all. One very damaged tank.
Approaching a capture
It
point.
looks like it did a quick critical repair to get out of there.
Correction.
And that squad needs to get out of there and reman.
You might just make it.
Pack 40 shooting rifles for some reason. It looks like it's trying an attack round. Thinks the Sherman might still be repairing there. Nice try by Fortune, but doesn't pay off unfortunately. And looks like we see another sniper on the field to replace that legendary veteran that met such an ignoble end at the hands of a Sherman. Vet 3 rifles, yeah, they should be able to capture a bit of territory. USF player really only needs to just temporarily
Damn Crouch just
hold
wasted
2
some of our
VPs
riflemen.
and the game belongs to them. Sort of struggling to do that with only 2 rifle squads. However, this side of the map is now theirs. It does look like there are S mines over here though. But wahoo being careful to avoid them.
Start us a rumor like they did back in Normandy. Remember?
Oh, once again,
Half-track
we
is
see
ready for
one of those frustrating strafes come in. It's pinning the unit, stopping them from capturing. What have we got here? Just a stick of reconnaissance pass. So these Panzer Grenadiers know what they're headed in for. Plenty of munitions floating for Fortune. Interesting, an AT strafe against a building actually does a lot of damage. Did not know they would target a building. This is interesting. We've actually got a flak half-track. Don't usually see one of those built late game. They are quite good at suppressing infantry though, which might make it a lot easier for this Sherman to finish them off.
There they are. Cover the flank. Enemy fighter.
Ooh, that 3 Panzer Grenadiers really struggling to get out of there, but almost in the smoke cloud. Oh, looks like we've got another Stuka dive bomb coming in. Oh, goodbye to those rifles.
Lost a unit. Krauts are sniffing
Only
around
1
the
rifle squad left in these 2 vehicles, which are in a precarious position here. Packs are just decimating them.
A medium tank was just lost.
Oh, flak half-track tries to get away, but Pack 40 gets a pretty sneaky shot on it, unfortunately. Yeah, those flak half-tracks have very little health. They can only take 2 pack shots. So, yeah, not something you generally want to build when there are a lot of packs on the field. The 3 rifles pushing up nearly get this sniper. Doesn't look like it would do quite as well as his brother. Oh, knocked out. Shame, shame. But yeah, not sure what these rifles are hoping to do with only 2 men in this squad, even if they are at 3.
We have a lieutenant reporting in for duty.
Chucks a grenade, but like so many grenades in this match, it's just completely missed. And yeah, well, wahoo simply cuts off that point, but I don't know if that'll achieve anything. I've got some sneaky capping going on the side
Smell orders.
from each player. Not currently engaging it, they just want those points. But we're seeing a nice infantry army from Fortune here. MG is just really locking this area down. Now, their 3 Panzer Grenadiers, which are just going to run around and mess up rifles. But looks like Fortune has managed to hold at this VP drain at only 30 VP for a while now. Oh, very nice sort of synergy there by pinning these units down. Sort of close combat specialist units like Panzer Grenadiers can just really mess them up if they don't get recruited on time, as we saw with mere pioneers. So rear echelon got a bit messed up by something.
Tank support is here. Sherman ready.
Now we see another Sherman on the field. Wow. Okay, so the AT strafe even targets infantry. Good to know. Does a bit of damage with those sort of explosive rounds. Oh, here, another stupid dive bomb come in. But I don't think Wahoo's having any of that one. A bit of a waste of munitions there, but nice try. So we'll get a grenade on these Panzer Grenadiers. They dodged grenade easily enough, but of course the Sherman forced them away. But more Panzer Grenadiers pushing up here. Interesting that we, despite all the munitions Fortune has access to, we haven't seen any upgrades to these Panzer Grenadiers to get the Panzerschrecks. Relying pretty much entirely on those packs to knock out all these Shermans. And to be fair, it's been quite effective so far. Looks like Fortune just retreated a second too early there. Didn't fully neutralise that fuel. Always a pain when that happens. Sometimes you're sort of gambling on lag.
Area's ours.
Rifles take back a single VP, still not holding a majority. Just been sitting on that 30 VP for a while now. That must really be taunting Wahoo. But at the same time, it's probably also keeping them in the game. A reasonably good HE hit there, point blank of course, although that one goes fairly astray. Very, very hard to escape suppressive effects of those planes. Can really get annoying. See here, rear echelon just want to take care of all these mines that Fortune can now afford in abundance. Lieutenant tries to wait out the suppression, but as long as these units are shooting them, the suppressive effect won't be broken. Sherman, not doing so well, limping away there. German army, on the other hand, is just looking massive. No more than 2 of anything, so pretty diverse actually, which has made for quite an interesting game so far.
The enemy is overrunning one of our capture points.
So another sniper out in the field. I think this is number 3. 4 kills. Yeah, it's making a bit of an impact. Really just sort of taunting these rifles. Nearly wiping them out. I'm being quite impressed by Fortune's sniper micro in this match, I have to say. It's been thoroughly entertaining. And I'm quite surprised that they're not taking as much damage as they usually do. Yeah, Wahoo, not particularly impressed by that. Understandably so. Considering riflemen have semi-automatics, you really would expect them to take care of snipers quite easily. Looks like we've got a bit of a scout plane just sort of checking out the area, looking for this Sherman apparently. Oh, almost totally finished off by that strafe. But Wahoo decides that that is enough, even with a brand new Scot on the field. Yeah, I have to admit, when you're on the receiving end of close air support, it can get a little infuriating. You probably have to pop a lot of smoke grenades every time you hear a plane coming in, just so that you're not needlessly pinned. Some interesting plays on both sides there, I think. We saw some fairly diverse armies. Shermans, Scots, even a flak half-track, definitely had an interesting time in the game. And of course, thanks to the flood of ammunitions and interesting plane strikes close air support provides, no tanks at all, no vehicles at all from Fortune, just a very diverse sort of infantry army, and some quite entertaining micro, I have to say. I suddenly have renewed respect for the German sniper, though perhaps it depends on which map you use it on. I have to say I'm definitely surprised that Fortune completely upgraded to Battle Phase 3, considering Fortune did not actually have access to fuel for a lot of the time, so that was a bit wasted in the end. But maybe a change of strategy was suddenly deemed necessary. Still, quite a good match. I hope you enjoyed that one. I have to say I certainly did. And I hope to see you next time. Bye.